Welcome to another ADACS webinar. My name is Leonie Chevalier and I belong to the Swinburne node of ADACS. In this video, I am going to go over the basics of virtual environments and Python package and dependency management. As always, check out the ADACS website for more courses and additional materials. I want to give you a brief overview of what exactly we are going to cover. We start out with what virtual environments are and why you should use them. Then we will move on to the different types or flavors of virtual environments and how to initiate and use them. We will then go through the basic principles of package and dependency management, as well as the common pitfalls and the big don'ts of virtual environments. Virtual environments are a tool used for dependency management. They let you isolate your project by installing packages locally rather than system-wide. You can create any number of virtual environments for different projects and enter, exit, delete them as you go. There's no limit to the number of virtual environments that can be created. Whenever you start a new project, we recommend you also set yourself up with a fresh virtual environment where you'll be working in. This will hopefully prevent you from running into conflicts or similar grief in the future. Using virtual environments empowers you to establish a systematic and organized repository for each of your projects. No more chaos, only neatly compartmentalized spaces. Using a unique virtual environment for each project and thereby isolating dependencies, you minimize the risk of unintended interference between projects. Part of the beauty of virtual environments lies in their ability to simplify tracking and enhance reproducibility. Each virtual environment serves as a snapshot of your project state, providing a comprehensive view of the tools, libraries, and versions employed. This clear delineation allows you to navigate through the project's history, facilitate efficient tracking of changes and updates, not to mention being able to share your exact environment setup with colleagues for precise replication of your work. And finally, should things go terribly wrong for whatever reason, you can simply delete the environment without fear of consequences and start out fresh. To briefly clarify some of the terminology we're using, because virtual environments are not virtual machines. Virtual environments and virtual machines are distinct concepts in the realm of computing. While the terms share the word virtual, they serve fundamentally different purposes. Virtual environments, exemplified by tools like Python's virtual VNV or Conda, are lightweight, isolated spaces designed to manage project-specific dependencies and configurations. They encapsulate the necessary libraries and packages for a particular application, ensuring its independence from the system-wide environment. In contrast, virtual machines are complete emulations of physical computers. Yes, down to the hardware. They are capable of running entire operating systems. I hope that clarified some things. There are a number of different options for Python virtual environments. We are going to go over the three most popular ones, namely virtualenv, Conda, and pipenv. There are, of course, more out there, but we'll only be covering these three today. First up, virtualenv, or just venv. It comes inbuilt with Python, so no need to install anything at all. It should be good to go out of the box. Mind you, the instructions on screen at the moment are for Unix or Mac OS. The Windows syntax differs slightly. So, without further ado, let's go through a demo of how to set up a virtual environment with VNV. Okay, welcome. So I've got my terminal open and let's get started with making a virtual environment using venv. So first things first, I am going to type in Python with my version number 3. I would like Python 3. That's just where my Python 3 is saved in my path. But if you needed, for example, a specific Python 2 environment, you could say, your specific version number here. This is particularly handy when it comes to legacy projects. right, minus m venv, and now your environment name. Now that can be anything. Ideally, they should be distinguishable if you're going to have multiple sitting in the same directory. So for this one, I'm just going to call it ADACS demo venv. Okay, and then we hit enter, and it will do its thing. Okay, and it is done. Now, if I check what is in my directory, you can see there's a folder now, ADACS demo venv. That is where all of the information about our virtual environment is stored. To activate it, we'll go source. Now the name of our environment, bin activate. Right, if I hit enter, that activates our virtual environment. You should be able to see here that we are now inside the virtual environment. Great. So if I wanted to now install a dependency, let's say NumPy, I have to go pip install NumPy. There we go. Installation's already happening. And it is telling me to upgrade to a newer version of pip, which I could do, but it will not be doing right now. But we now have pip installed. Exciting. And if it is time to leave your virtual environment, all you have to do is write deactivate, hit enter. As you can see now, we have left the virtual environment. Okay, so far so easy. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, let's try the same thing with Conda. Conda does not come directly installed with Python like venv did. If you are interested in using it, you would first have to download and install it, which is fairly straightforward. The draw to Conda is that it has cross-language support, meaning that it can manage packages and environments for not just Python, but also R, Ruby, Scala, Java, JavaScript, C, C++, Fortran, and more. Right, we're just going to look at Python though. For now, let's take a look at setting up a Python environment. Okay, we've swapped back to our terminal. So this time round, if I want to create a virtual environment with Conda, I would start with our first command, which is conda create. Then we need to give our environment a name again. In this case, we're going to go ADACS demo conda to stick with our naming scheme from earlier. And now I can specify which Python version I would like to use. And in this case, I would like to use Python 3.8. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter, and it will start setting up the environment and see whether you can spot the difference to what venv did earlier. All right, you should be able to see the line saying collecting package metadata at the moment. Yep, and it has moved on. And it's now asking me whether I would like to install the following packages. So Conda very helpfully wants to pre-install some of the most commonly used packages for you immediately. I think you can, make certain modifications. If you look at the Python package, it wants to give me Python 3.8.18. And it also gives me pip and setup tools, etc. So yes, I would like this. So we're typing Y. And now it is installing all of these packages for me, very helpfully. Now this means that compared to venv, setting up a virtual environment in Conda takes a significantly longer amount of time. So bear that in mind. Not that it is terribly long, but certainly longer than before. Great. And that is done. It has finished without any errors, and the bottom here, you can see that it's also telling us what the next commands are. So let's follow this along, and we'll say conda activate ADACS demo. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I want Conda. Okay. There we are. Right, we can see by, oops, sorry, too much highlighting. You can see right here that I am now in the environment that I've just set up. And again, if I now wanted to give it some packages to install, I will do this through Conda as well. In this case, Conda install, and let's go with NumPy again. Hit enter. There it goes. It's collecting metadata, and it will. It's asking me for whether or not I want to install them. Yes, I would like to install these. And we're installing NumPy right here. Oh, 99%. There we go. So Conda is a lot more verbose in a sense. It gives you lots of feedback about what is going on in the background. Alright, great. We have installed NumPy in this environment. Now if I want to leave, I can go conda deactivate, and we have left. Now probably some of my most used conda commands is trying to remember my virtual environments in Conda and what I have named them. So if you ever wanted to find out what Conda environments you've got in any given location, you can go Conda and list. That will list you. There you go. And you can already see I have not just our ADACS demo environment here, but also a couple of others. So yeah, if you're ever lost and don't remember your environment's name or where you've put it, there you go. Okay, and that's it for Conda for now. Last on our list is pipenv. It is designed to bring together the capabilities of traditional tools like pip, package installation, and virtual environment management, but in a more user-friendly and straightforward manner. Now, I personally don't have a lot of experience with this, so bear with me on here while I will walk you through the basics of how to set up a virtual environment with this. Okay, last but not least, pipenv. Now, as mentioned before, I'm by no means an expert in this. I have not used it before, but it seems very straightforward. So first things first, we have to install it, because I did not do this ahead of time, but luckily it's very easy to do through pip. So, don't mind me. Pip install. Right. So I'm using pip3 here just because that's where my Python 3 installation lives. This might be different on your machine. Right, and hopefully this should install. Alright, great. That seems to have installed fine. So let's proceed with setting up the virtual environment. Let's give that a clear first. And we proceed with env install. Let enter. Right, and it's creating a virtual environment for us. Okay, and then it's looking for packages and dependencies. Okay, and then this are our run commands. So let's go with env shell. That should take us. Yeah, that should take us into a virtual environment. Alright, now to install dependencies, we should be able to there we go. So again, we're using NumPy as an example. Pip-env install NumPy. Checking what it's saying to me. Success. Looking for dependencies. Installing dependencies. Great. And we now have NumPy installed in our virtual environment. You know, there's a lot more to explore here in pip-env. Again, I don't really know a whole lot about it. You may have to explore here more on your own time, but I definitely wanted to mention it as an option for virtual environments, not just Conda and virtual environment, virtual env. Okay, great. Then let's wrap this up. While virtual environments are powerful tools for project isolation, some practices can lead to unintended consequences. Let's explore the big don'ts and why they should be avoided. First up is renaming your virtual environment. Renaming a virtual environment might seem harmless, but it can introduce confusion and break internal references. Instead, consider creating a new environment with the desired name and migrating your project instead. Number 2. Moving, renaming, deleting files from installed packages. Please avoid tampering directly with files within installed packages. Such actions may disrupt the functionality of the packages, leading to unexpected errors. Utilize package management tools for modifications instead. Next up, force installing incompatible packages. Forcing the installation of incompatible packages may result in conflicts and system instability. Always check compatibility and rely on version constraints to ensure smooth interactions among dependencies. Fourth, don't commit the virtual environment to version control, i.e. Git. Version control is essential, but committing the virtual environment can bloat repositories and lead to inconsistencies across collaborators. Instead, include a requirements.txt file or a pipfile.log for dependency tracking. This will be much more stable. Right, number 5, lastly, uninstalling Python. We don't know why you would do this, but never uninstall the system-wide Python interpreter. This can disrupt the functionality of system tools and lead to unpredictable behavior. Keep your system Python intact and use virtual environments for project-specific dependencies. Now, I hope those big don'ts help and you avoid running into any problems with your virtual environments in the future. Thank you so much for watching this webinar on virtual environments made by ADACS. I'm going to leave you here with this list of helpful links that will help you progress further in your virtual environment journey. please check out any of the other materials that we've got on the ADACS website and here on our YouTube channel. Best of luck. Thank you so much for watching.